Enter Scytho. An ex-number 1 player from the USA who has had many achievements in the game called Osu, peaking at around rank 8 before having to take a break from the game due to hand issues, essentially dealing with RSI. However, over the past year, Scytho has managed to get physical therapy thanks to BTMC, essentially paying for the entire thing, and thanks to his recovered hand, we have managed to witness one of the most insane comebacks in recent history of this game. But there is something unique about all of his pop-ups that nobody talks about. He is really kind of breaking the game with this method. But in order for us to understand this, we have to go all the way back to around 2018-19. Now, around that period of time, there used to be a top player that absolutely dominated the scene back then by the name of Fiery Rage. Now, back then he was a top player, but you may know him also as a mapper and nowadays a beatmap nominator even. But back then, Fiery was very well known for having vertical jumps in his farm maps that were very specific, and he would also rank loads of maps back then with this type of pattern, like for example Just Add Ice, or even appear as a guest difficulty on certain maps like Lonely Go or Guess Who Is Back. And what he would do back then is basically farm these maps, Super Driver with DT, Quiver with DT, and at one point he even managed to get the PP record on his own map, specifically his score on Guess Who Is Back DT Hard Rock FC 190 PP at this time, and this score was so ridiculous that he literally had to say this on stream.
Boom, baby! Boom! Oh, that's the PP record. YouTube, I am very sorry that this is the PP record. You should watch Cookie Z's Freedom Dive Hidden Hard Rock play instead.
What was my point with giving this context? Fast forward to 2025, and with Scytho's pop-off, we're kind of seeing the same thing happening again. Except instead of the Fiery method, you can even call it the Sytho method now because of how much he is doing it compared to Fiery. Sytho the pinch DTFC on his own difficulty, worth 965 PP. 1214 PP play on Blue Goose with DT on his own difficulty. A DTSC on Aragami again on his own difficulty, which is at 1278 PP play. Those were just only a couple of examples, but let's dig into the two scores that are absolutely ridiculous with this example. During that period of time when Scytho was taking a break from the game, he was also mapping other longer maps, like for example the full version of Sidetracked Day. When this got ranked, he basically gave a few PP plays for Kulibet and Nineric, but now that his hand issues were finally fixed, it was finally time for him to farm the map. And boy did he deliver. A 2-miss run on Sidetracked Day, the distraction difficulty that he made with DT, which he managed to get 95.87% AC, and it rewarded him with 1393 PP, which is absolutely ridiculous. But what is more ridiculous is what he managed to do a few days later after he ranked his infamous Valley of the Damned map. This is a 6.77 star map, and once it got ranked, he straight up went for that opportunity to farm it, and oh boy did he do that. A 1-miss run with 97.59% accuracy, and the play is worth 1618 PP. And again, he set this score with DT, which is absolutely ridiculous, setting his new top play in the process. But yeah, of course, these aren't the only scores that Scytho has set as of recently. He has farmed loads of other scores like Over the Top, with Double Time, which is an FC as well, getting 1.3k PP. A ridiculous 2-miss run on Prismatics with DT, getting another 1.3k PP play in the process, as well as setting his first 1.5k PP play on Age of Tyranny.
Oh my god.
But with some of these plays that I've mentioned on maps that he has made, it is definitely interesting to see someone who is good at the game being able to create his own maps and gain PP from it, essentially breaking the entire system. And with some maps being qualified and still pending maybe, it looks like Scytho is going to take his mapping knowledge and skill in the game to the absolute limit. But how do you personally feel about Scytho doing this? Do you think that is absolute fair game and that he should maybe continue making maps and farming them himself? Or do you think that this might be a little weird and maybe someone should take something against it? But yeah, I've been Stu, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Yeah.